Coronau podcast, inspirational podcast, first episode with my boy Anonymous. Coronau means highly favored, you're king, you're up. Estás coronao. Coronau podcast, episode 1. Let's get it.
That's right, man. I'm happy to be here, bro. Thank you for having me.
Anonymous, it's a pleasure to have you, man. First episode. We're gonna ask a couple questions, upcoming projects, stuff like that. So, I got a list for you, man. Let's start in the beginning. You know what I mean? Talk about your upbringing, talk about how you came up. You know what I mean? Give us that insight, you know what I'm saying? We want to get inspired. This is what this podcast is about, inspire the people. So let's get inspired, baby. Let's go.
As far as upcoming, I guess for me, for rapping, it wasn't something I always wanted to do, but I saw my older cousin, Adam, he started rapping when he was in 9th grade, and he rapped a verse for us, and it was fucking crazy, bro. He did his name literally in an acronym, and when I saw that, I was like, damn, this is sick as fuck. I want to rap now. And I was showing my raps, and he's like, hey, we should start a group. So as soon as he heard that, he's like, fuck, let's do a group. And I wasn't as good as him at the time, but seeing how good he was at that time made me want to get better. And from there, man, the rest is history, bro. I got way better after time of practicing, and that hunger, bro, like the hunger of hearing your voice, wanting to perfect the flow, wanting to perfect the rhymes and everything. It made me want to get better, man. That's
awesome, bro. And everybody wants to know, you know what I mean? Obviously, when we grow up and we have that inspiration in us, when we grow up and we have that vision, talk about your earlier years, talk about your childhood. Take us through that image in that venture.
As far as my childhood, man, I mean, I had a pretty good childhood, bro. I can't complain about it. We had a roof over our head. We had food in our stomachs. We would go on vacations. My pops was a construction worker. He would take us to go every year to Colorado River. We had we had good times, man. And I can't say it was all good, but for the most part, I can't complain because I had a roof over my head. It was good, man.
That's awesome, brother. And another question for you, what I'm saying, talking about, what motivates us and stuff like that. What motivates you? What brings you up? What takes you out of your bed nowadays, to do this thing that you love, which is music?
As far as what motivates me, it's I guess it's the struggle, man. I've been struggling ever since my mom passed away and learning how to fend for myself and not depend on nobody. And that kind of pushed me not to depend on anybody. And that kind of pushed me to strive for what I want to really do. Because she did see me make music when she was alive, and she saw that, but there wasn't really much of a drive or a passion at the time. It was something that I loved to do. I like to do. But as soon as she passed away, it was something that I clinged onto very tightly because it was something that I was able to vent to. Something that I was able to express myself. And I didn't have money for therapy, but I had money to record music because it was more.
So you do this because you love it?
I do it because I love it. So it became a passion where I was able to express myself, and it made me realize at some point when I did share my music and music videos and all that stuff, that I wasn't the only one that felt like this. I had people reach out to me like, hey, thank you for making that song, like Reflections or Close to the Edge, because I feel like that as well. And thank you for sharing that. And it made me realize that, damn, maybe I do have a voice just more than just myself. I'm relating to more than just me,
So when we talk about Anonymous, Anonymous the artist, Anonymous the image, what do you represent? What do you want to be known as? Say for example, when you're gone, when you're creating your last project, or say for example creating your last song, what do you want to be known as? What do you want to leave your legacy? What do you want to do as far as that?
As far as that, for me, it's I want people to see my life and see all the tragedy that I had to face. And I know that people have probably suffered more tragedy than me, and I'm not here to compare, contrast, all that. But to me, it's I want people to see that, hey, I've been through all this, and I use all that negativity and turn it into something positive. And if they can see that in me, they can look at their own lives. Maybe it may not be that worse, or maybe it could be worse, but they can use that negative energy and turn it into something positive. You know what I'm trying to say? That's me.
100%.
To be that motivation for them. They'd be like, maybe I don't have it that bad, but I can use this to do something better.
100%.
I guess that's the message I would want to put out there.
Awesome, man. And another question that I got for you, man. You know what I mean? I know you've been switching it up now a lot in your music. You know, I know you say you're underground, you keep it at underground, but you know, as far as now, you know, you're looking into different aspects of music. You know what I mean? What do you want to let people know as far as what you have upcoming in your music going forward?
I guess for that, you know, when I got into hip hop, I love listening to Nas. I love all that lyrical, you know, type of style. That's something I grew up on. And, you know, like, that's something that I'm heavily influenced by. I would never, you know, take that for granted. I cherish those fucking years, especially when I was in 9th grade, hearing like Pac Div, You and I, Intuition,
Mobb Deep, all those, you know what I mean?
All those, dude.
Nas.
It made me want to rap like that, but to me, to a real certain point, I can only relate to that kind of style so much. I'm Mexican, and I grew up in I'm all over. I'm like an army brat. I grew up everywhere, from Ontario to La Puente to Ballin Park to Rialto. So I'm pretty much everywhere, but I had nothing similar to those kind of styles. So for me, it's like I do what I can that feels right to me. I've always I loved hip hop. I fell in love with hip hop. I love the underground style. It's something I cherish so much. But I can only relate to it so much. But I also love R&B. I love oldies. It's something that I listen to on a daily basis. And I love to sing, but I've never been that comfortable with singing. So for any future stuff that I have, I'm gonna be experimenting with that. And
awesome.
And I've been hearing that, bro. I've been doing my best with it, and it's been coming out sick. So it's nothing that's forced. It's something that I have a passion for, because I love music as a whole.
Yeah.
I always want to be like the greatest rapper or to be the best lyricist. Honestly, I just want to be known as a fucking great musician. Someone that was able to expand, you know, his not just rapping, but to learn how to do something else like singing and perfect that. So that's something that I'm on right now. And
that's awesome.
Some of the music I have, dude, it's fucking sounding fucking amazing, bro. And that's something cut it short. But I have confident in what I'm confident in what I do and what I write and what I put into a microphone, that I would never downplay what I do. So if anybody that hears that new shit, they're gonna love it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. You showed me some new stuff that you had and shit that's not even put out there. You know what I'm saying? So if you fuck with Anonymous, which I do, you know what I mean, highly. You know what I mean? His new shit is really up there. It's dope. It's hip hop. I feel like a lot of hip hop nowadays is becoming the new standard. You know what I mean? Now people are so tired of hearing that watered down, you know what I mean, mumble rap, the watered down music. And now people want to hear that real, you know what I'm saying, that real shit, you know what I mean? That real hip hop, that real dope shit. So my boy Anonymous brings that to the table. So look out for him. Look out for him on all platforms. Let them know where they can find you as far as your music, as far as your Instagram, as far as all that. Please let them know.
As far as that, you can find me on Instagram, at AnonymousTheMC94. You can find me on my website, anonymousmc.com. If you want to look up on any music videos or any merch, I got some of the merch right now. So What, which is a project I released earlier this year. I released a single called So What. I got it. The funny thing about that is that there's a song, it's called Brand New Funk by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And if you don't know who that is, Will Smith, you know,
hit yourself with a rock if you don't know what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Real talk.
So the part in that verse, he did acapella in the video, he rapped for a certain while, and he's like, if you don't like it, so what? And I always like that fucking part. I'm thinking to myself, I always thought to myself, like, damn, that'd be fucking sick to use in a song. And I had that for years. I'm not gonna like that fucking little part, so what? And eventually when I did finally make the beat, I'm like, damn, this would be the perfect beat to finally use that cut. So I finally got around to using it. It's funny because it took some time, and there's some songs that it's weird, but it takes some time for it to finally, you'll have an idea. It may not happen within that time frame, but it might happen within a few months or even years later. But for that one, it was like few years later, and it finally stuck, dude. I'm like, damn, this is like the single for this project I'm trying to do. So what? So what? It's like, for me, it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do the style I love, which is the underground style.
Right.
I'm gonna fucking rap my ass off and do all the stuff, and I don't give a fuck. Like, people were like, hey, people would see me and they knew I make music. Like, damn, why do you work here? Like you work, you're so talented, bro. You should have been made it already. You should have done this already. I'm like, I should have, but I don't care. I'm still gonna be doing this shit no matter.
It's a marathon, baby.
Hell yeah. It's like exactly what he said. But the thing is too that I don't care. Music is something that I love to do, and I will always do. And I'm never gonna be shy away from my roots. Underground is my roots, and I always, cherish that shit. And I will flex that style as much as possible. But I'm also going to add new tools to the kit as well, So nothing that I do now or anything newer is gonna be any different from that.
That's awesome, man. That's beautiful, beautiful words coming from Anonymous. You know what I mean? Another question for you, Anonymous, is, what can you tell, from an artist that's been around for a long time, that's been, molding his craft, that's been, perfecting his craft most of all, which is most important. What can you tell the inspiring artists, people that are coming up, people that are working on their craft, people that, are trying to take this craft serious, because it takes so much to take this craft serious. It takes so much. What can you tell the inspiring artists coming up, that what do they need to know to, in this particular field to take this shit serious? What do they need to know?
I think for one is you gotta have tough skin. You gotta be able to see the bigger picture as far as the fast win. Like, we're not in a shit where things can happen overnight. Maybe for some that may be the case, but for other artists, you have to build your brand as much as possible. Like for me, I've been doing this shit for about, I would say, a decade plus, but I only started taking this shit seriously maybe 5 years now. 5 years, maybe a little bit more. 2018, we're 2020. Yeah, about 5 years. And I would say, like, you gotta take your time. You gotta see what your vision is. You gotta experiment, man. You gotta experiment with what you're doing, not just with the vocals, but with your music videos. You have to put a lot of time and thinking into it.
You hear, guys? You have to put a lot of time into this. Doesn't come overnight. You have to put in work. You know what I mean? If anybody thinks that overnight fame is something that's possible, no, it's not. You have to put in the work.
Exactly, man. I'm always thinking about the bigger picture. So, like, I've done about over 15, 16 music videos in total in my whole little career that I have right now. But I'm always thinking about the bigger picture, because when I do make that song that people finally do catch attention to, it's only gonna give them more stuff to look back upon. Like, damn, he was doing this before. There's like a whole like little catalog that they can listen to before. So I'm always focused on making myself better in each aspect, whether it be the writing, whether it be the flow, whether it be the project, what I'm trying to go for. There's always a purpose in what I try to do, so I try to do the most,
100%.
I don't shy away from that. I don't shy away from experimenting. I don't shy away from anything. And I would say for any upcoming artist to experiment, share with the people that have close. Just do it. You can't sit there and overanalyze it. I didn't do that. I don't have the luxury to do that. I just put it out there, and people will give me good feedback. Some people give me bad feedback, and it was cool. I listened, I paid attention, and it made me get better. And that's the thing too. You can't be. You have to have tough skin. This is a field where you have to have tough skin, because not everybody's gonna like what you do, and you have to be comfortable with that. And not everybody's comfortable with that, but I am, because I grew up in a family or a household where people be like, hey, no, that's not cool, or that should suck, or grow some fucking balls, or and yeah, it's not cool, but that's the lifestyle I lived, and you have to do the most of what you can. And yeah, man, I say just go for it.
Keep grinding.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I feel like it's very important to really listen to these type of artists, especially artists that's been around, that love this shit, that love music, that, put their all into this, without really looking for any type of money or any type of, stuff like that. We do it for the love and the passion. Another thing, Anonymous, that I want you to, get in touch with is, I know you do all types of other stuff, I know you do videos, I know you do beats. So let's talk about a little bit about that, about the other creative side of what you're doing.
As far as the beats, at that time when I started a group with my cousin Adam, I think what it was that we loved the group called People Under the Stairs, and we loved the fact that they made beats and they made a style of their own. And And that's what made me want to go digging through the crates, finding old vinyls and making beats out of it and trying to see what I can do out of it. Because at the end of the day, you know what you like, and maybe someone else that makes beats may not provide that, and maybe you don't have the money for that. So that's what something that made me want to focus on that craft on making beats. And at first, it's like anything else. Maybe you might be good at it first, maybe you might suck. I fucking sucked at it. But given time and everything, it made me better. It made me appreciate the craft more. And at some point when I got more comfortable with my style on making beats, it made me more comfortable for me, the writing side and the rapping side, to be able to combine with that style of like, okay, now I'm good enough to make beats. I know what I like. I know what samples I like, and what style I like, the type of drums I want to put on this type of beat, and it made me get better. And as far as photography and videography, I had a homie that would a homie Nuncio. Shout out to homie Nuncio. He got me thinking about my branding and everything else as well, because being an artist isn't just one thing. It's multiple things that we may not see as just an artist, because I'm more focused on just making the music and shit like that, but it's also the branding, the way you look, the way you present yourself and all that stuff. So he made me think about like the photography, the promoting and all that stuff. So I put that more in my hands because I didn't have the money at the time, because I'm making sacrifices and I'm taking part-time jobs. And
Anonymous, okay, sorry to cut you off, you know what I'm saying, but let people know about the sacrifices that artists have to take in order for them to become successful in this business. Not even successful, but to keep doing what they love. What sacrifices did you have to encounter to keep doing what you love?
So as far as sacrifices, man, I used to work a construction job. I used to get paid fucking pretty good. I used to make at least $4,000 to almost $5,000 a month.
Wow, that's a lot of money, man.
For anybody like that wants to pursue that, nothing wrong with that. That's cool if you're working with your hands and stuff like that. But to me, it wasn't for me, because I'm an artist in my fucking.
And you love music, I feel you, bro. I'm there with you.
It's part of me. So for me, it's like I took sacrifices and I quit that job and I took a part-time job. I only worked 3 to 4 days a week. Right now it's 4 days a week.
Wow.
I don't get paid that much, enough to pay my bills, but it gives me extra time to work on music, to work on videos, photography and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if it's just me, I could survive. But I have a lady that I do plan on marrying one day, because I see that future order. She's struggling with me. She loves what I'm doing. She sees the passion. She sees the vision on it.
She's day one.
Exactly. So she sees all that, and I respect that. And to me,
that's
it's like,
dope.
You know, something like that doesn't come around that often. But I acknowledge it, and I would never take that for granted. To me, it's like if someone's willing to struggle with me like that, I'll give them the world, you know? So that when that day comes, when I do finally get to where I want to get to, I'll give her everything. But the thing is too, like, there's a lot of sacrifices. A sacrifice on time, money, the fact that you have to work less, and sometimes you might eat the same shit the day before left.
See, guys, being an artist is, you know, it's a struggle. It's not easy, but you know, we do what we need to do because of what we love.
Exactly, man. Sometimes I would have to kind of like, hey, like I only have $100 in my name, but I know my lady needs this money to do this, or we need food and stuff like that. I'll be like, don't worry about it. I'll give you that money, because at the end of the day, I believe in God, and I know God is gonna take care of me.
Awesome.
And I
higher power. Yep.
The thing I do, like my daily routine when I wake up, and not to get sidetracked or anything, but this is my daily routine. I wake up, get ready, get in my car, I get dressed, take a shower and all that stuff, get in my car.
What time you wake up?
I wake up at fucking 5 o'clock. We be at work at 6.
Let's go.
I wake up at 5. Get ready.
5 o'clock gang.
Get in my car, pray. Thank God every day for what I have. I may not have the money, but I have food in my stomach. I have a roof over my head. I have a lady that fucking loves me, that's willing to struggle with me.
Always important.
And I know that many people might not have that. Some people might be alone doing it by themselves. And I feel for them, because I was in that position as well. But now I have someone that's willing to struggle with me and willing to struggle with me as I pursue my passion. So I see that, and I thank God every single day, because not many people have that. And I'm grateful for that. I have a job, even though I may not like it, but it is providing the money I need to pay my bills and a little bit extra to be able to fuel this passion that I have. And I do extra stuff like photography and videography as well, which I do charge accordingly for that too as well. but my main passion is music. So, you know, I'm grateful, dude. I'm grateful to be alive. I will never take any of this for granted. I always cherish every moment that I have. Even this moment right now, to be able to express what I'm feeling right now with the homie right here. Yeah, it's a blessing, man.
Thank you so much, Anonymous, for your kind words, man, and your words of motivation. Remember that this podcast is solely to motivate the individual, motivate the artist, motivate the entrepreneur, motivate the person, that anything is possible if you believe, and if you believe in yourself, you believe in your craft, believe in what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, you have to have a plan in order for your stuff to be successful. So my boy right here, Anonymous, he has a plan. He has everything written down. We had a talk beforehand.
Yeah.
2-hour talk beforehand, and drinking some beers and relaxing, and you know what I mean, and just really talking about life. And he has everything already in his head, that what he wants to do, what he has a plan. So remember, guys, never go in this without a plan. A plan is something that you have to be successful. You have to execute. You have to make shit happen. And in order for you to make that happen, you have to have a plan. So my boy Anonymous, yo, you doing your thing, dog.
All I have to say is, dude, like, maybe at the time you may not have a plan, but it's good to start.
Awesome, yeah, beautiful.
Go for it and do it. And
that's awesome.
And along the way, you might think of things, because I met people along the way that made me think differently. I had the homie Nuncio that made me think of my craft differently, made me think about how do I plan this music video, how do I do this, how do I things that kind of like a movie.
Awesome.
You got a movie, like for example that Thor movie that came out. They had to sit there and think about how they're gonna plan the promotion of that music, of that movie.
100%.
Little trailers and things, photos and stuff like that to build up the movie, the hype.
The marketing.
Exactly, the marketing. Exactly. You gotta do the same thing with music. At the end of the day, if you're not excited about what you're doing, no one else is gonna be excited.
That's a fact.
You gotta love what you're doing.
That's a fact.
I love what I'm doing, so I know people around my realm will love what I'm doing. It's like Five Dog said, if I don't say I'm the best rapper, then who the hell will?
Boo, boo, boo. That's real, man. Anonymous, also, I want you to talk a little bit about your brand, what you represent, what's your niche as far as who you're rapping to. I know you say you're underground, but obviously you're doing the Latino thing. You're rapping for the Mexicans, for the Mexicanos, for the Latinos. So let's talk a little bit about that.
For me, my brand is basically, like I kind of like iterated on it a little earlier, is anybody that's struggling, that I think they may have it hard, that can look at my life and see what I've been through, like me losing my mom when I was 18 due to breast cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Not having my pops around, and me having to fend for myself in La Puente, trying to figure things out and do the most. You know, like most people, they might have their parents to fall back on like a safety net, and hey, to them, hey, I'm happy they have that. I didn't have that, but I'm kind of happy in a way I didn't have that, because it didn't make me kind of depend on that much. It made me know how to teach myself how to be more independent. So for me, as like a Latino or Mexican artist, or people that may grow up to that, because that does happen in our households, you know, I want them to see my life and be like, hey, if you can do that and go through all that, I can do that myself. Maybe I might not have it that bad, but you know, I can do that myself. So for my brand, as I want people to inspire people to be like, hey, use all that negative energy and turn it into something positive, which is exactly what I'm doing at the moment right now too as well. So,
that's real.
That's my brand right there.
Okay, that's awesome, man. Beautiful message that you put out there. Another thing I wanted to touch base on is your merch, stuff that you have put out. I see you have some of that stuff on. That dope ass Say What hat that you have on, that shirt. So, you know, I mean, let people know where they can get that merch, where they can follow you, like I said, and let's get that going.
As far as the merch, I don't have any of that merch right now, but this is the So What t-shirt and the So What hat.
Hard.
I was doing it for the project I dropped recently, earlier this year, like in January. It was So What, the project. It was a limited time offer only, which is what I do every once in a while.
Every drop.
Every drop. For this one was specifically for that project. But I will have more merch and hats, shirts, or anything else, physical copies, in the future for future projects, which I am currently working on. I have a future project coming out pretty soon.
Oh yeah, let's talk about your future projects, man. Well, what you have going, what you're working on, what's going on.
So as far as that, I invested in myself on, you know, getting a home studio, buying a mic, and you know, struggling for that.
Which is very important, guys. If you guys do music, invest in the mic, invest in the studio.
Exactly. You save money. You save. You can do that in your own time, at your own, whenever the hell you feel like doing it. And when you got those ideas, for me, like I have this project coming out. I don't want to say the name of it so far right now, but I do have I already have it pretty much done already, and it's amazing, dude. Like so far the songs, not to big myself up, but sometimes you gotta big yourself up because I am confident in who I am and what I'm doing. But it's fucking sounding crisp, bro, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. And I got a song coming out pretty soon. It's called Mental Warfare, so be on the lookout for that. I'll be dropping it pretty soon. It has nothing to do with the project, but it will be the Kickstarter to the project.
That's sick. That's sick. So let's talk about a little bit about that Mental War project that you have going. Let's talk about the basis of it. Let's talk about why you're creating that particular project and what's inspiring you to create that project. Let's talk a little bit about that.
As far as the Mental Warfare, I guess for me it's a time, like I know I am talented in what I do as far as making music, making beats, writing, photography, videography, and I am still working a dead-end job. And I'm like I'm like trying to be positive in what I do. Like, hey, you're gonna do fine. You're gonna make it. But the reality sinks in, like, damn, but you're gonna end up at this fucking dead-end job. So you're constantly in your head battling between the good and the bad, like trying to be optimistic, but you got the pessimistic side arguing with you. It's like the little devil and the little fucking angel on the side.
Talking.
You're constantly battling this in your head. And to me, it was like a perfect example, like to do a visual on that. And I have a visual for that I'm working on. I showed you a little bit before.
Yeah,
we're at the brewery.
It's looking crazy. Let me tell you, it's looking crazy and it's dope and it's original, inspiring.
So I have a little bit of that. So as far as that, I'm gonna be showing that through the visual, through the song, through the promotion. And yeah, man, like it's gonna be fucking crazy, bro. Like that's not gonna be a part of the project, but it is the Kickstarter to the project, because the project is nothing but good vibes, man. And all I can say is it's nothing but love, man. It's nothing but love right there, man.
That's sick, bro. And okay, so when are we looking for this project to be released? Are we looking at maybe late this year, early next year? What are we looking at?
It'll be this year. It'll be this year for sure, man. For sure this year. I would give it like maybe 2 to 3 months at most. I don't want to give an exact time, but I would say around that time because I want to build it up, man.
Awesome, bro. Coming to the end of our podcast, I wanted to talk a little bit about what you want to tell the audience. How do you want to motivate them as far as I know you told them about your upbringing, your upcoming projects. You pretty much told them about everything that you have going, but how do you want to motivate the next artist, the next Latino artist, the next Mexican artist coming up? What are your last words for them?
I would just say, man, like I said before, just to reiterate, just go for it, man. Who cares what anybody thinks? Who cares what anybody says? Just go for it, perfect your craft. Listen to what people say, but at the same time too, kind of have like I don't give a fuck attitude. But don't be afraid. I would say don't let fear determine what you can or cannot do, because you should be able to do what you want to do. Don't let anybody factor in on that. But at the same time too, I mean, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to take in, because I can't say, for me, I wasn't always good at what I do. I fucking sucked at the very beginning. I can admit that. I wasn't good at rapping. I didn't have the flow on point. I was very offbeat, but I had the right people around me at the time that were willing to be like, hey dude, you gotta work on your flow. You're falling a little off beat, you're falling off margin, and you can do more, You can do more to fix that. But at the same time too, is if that's what you truly want to do, you will make time to make those adjustments. If you really love this and have a passion for this, constructive criticism will do nothing but make you better. So for me, I took that criticism and I did the most with it. So don't be afraid to have those kind of people around you. And obviously we're gonna have people that are gonna just be naysayers no matter what, but you gotta fucking just push that shit to the side. I've had people like that. I had people tell me like, you shouldn't reproduce, or you dope, but you ain't Tupac. But I'm like, I'm not trying to be Tupac, but hey, whatever. It caught your attention though, but that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But just go for it, man. What do you have to lose? We only got one life to live. Do you want to go on your deathbed knowing that you didn't try everything.
You only live once.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go on your deathbed knowing that you didn't try everything and your power to try to succeed in what you want to pursue? Or do you want to go there and be like, oh, fuck it, I just gave up on whatever it is, I'll live with this regret.
That's beautifully said. That's a beautiful message for the person that's trying to come up, the artist is trying to come up. I feel that's very important for them to know. Never do this because of the money. Never let money motivate you to do something that you love. If you're doing it because of money, you're doing the wrong thing. All right. So we're gonna cut this podcast a little short today. We have to go take care of some stuff, but the last thing I want to let you guys know as far as this podcast, I want to thank my boy Anonymous for coming out here from Riverside. Real Alto, my fault. Real Alto, to get this done with me. I appreciate him. He has a lot of dope stuff coming out. Check him out. If you haven't got his Instagram or his social media, I'm pretty sure he's gonna give it to me so I could put it on the YouTube, under the YouTube.
Anonymous the MC 94.
There you go. Follow him. Make sure you get him on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? Coronau Podcast, to motivate you, to motivate the inspiring artist, the entrepreneur. We're gonna have people like that here. Our first episode, Anonymous. I want to thank him. Thank you so much, Anonymous. I appreciate you, dog, for coming out here and spending some time with me and you know, letting me know about your life and what inspires you and what gets you going. You know what I'm saying? Coronau, you're Coronau, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.